UFC 259, with its 3 title fights, was stacked. I'm talking stacked from top to bottom. Even those Fight Pass prelims were great. From crazy finishes to ridiculous DQs, let's see what happened. The first of the 3 title fights was in the bantamweight division, Petr Yan versus Jamaine Sterling. Now Sterling, I can sit here telling you today that he is your UFC bantamweight champion, but he didn't knock him out, he didn't submit Petr Yan, he did not win by decision, he won by disqualification. Before we get there, let's start at the beginning. Now, this was your classic striker versus grappler, but a little bit different because Aljo's great on the ground, but he's also pretty solid on the feet. He's really unique and funky, no Ben Askren. And Yan's solid striker, super good boxing, but again, kind of unique on the ground and super strong for the weight class, and no slouch down there either. But Aljo came out with a lot of pressure. Yan is not one to back up, but he had no choice. Sterling was coming at him with everything. Interesting aspect of this fight was Yan was ridiculous with his takedown defense and great with his takedown offense, kind of playing with Sterling, kind of like he did with Faber a little bit. And Sterling gassed out. You know, you wondered, could he keep this pressure up for the whole fight? Secret, he definitely could not. We got to the 4th round. Again, the crazy pace was dying. Yan was looking stronger. Sterling was slowing down. He was kneeling down, like Yan was pushing on his head. Referee clearly said he's grounded, and then all of a sudden Yan throws this nasty knee, clearly illegal, knocks Aljo down, and ultimately out of the fight. He was so messed up. Super concussed, could barely walk. Decided to give him an interview after. That was a stupid idea. But he was out, man. Like it was a rough knee. And I don't think Yan fully understood it, because when they were announcing the decision, he had his hand up like he was going to win, and then obviously he got his belt taken away with a DQ. It's classified as not an accidental knee, but, you know, an on-purpose knee because of the warning. And afterwards, there was some weird stuff, like Khabib, who was ringside or octagon side, said in Russian, he asked his coaches, could I throw? And his coaches said yes. Listen, I don't know if I buy all that. Like, I'm not saying it wasn't intentional, like he was trying to hurt Aljo. I think he just got caught up in the heat. Because even if your coaches say yes, like, he's been in many fights before. He knows what's illegal and what's not illegal. And, I don't know. Rough. They're going to have to run that one back. You know, Aljo's not going to want to win the title like that. He didn't even want the belt. He's going to need a lot of time to recover, though. Next up, we have the greatest fighter ever, Amanda Nunes, taking on Megan Anderson. And again, beforehand, Nunes, ridiculous favorite in the books. But this was a bit of an interesting test for her. You know, Megan, I'm not going to say she's the first true 145er, because Felicia Spencer was probably it. But the length and the size of Anderson, she was like 6 foot. She's huge. Might have posed some problems for Nunes. LOL, JK, not even close. Nunes is too damn good. Submitted her with this reverse armbar choke thing. I don't even know what to call it, early in the first round. And it's the same thing we always see, right? Like, you're going in there with greatness. You get hit by one of those bombs. Your eyes are white and your face goes white as a ghost, and you're just quickly done. Like, she hits too hard. She's too quick. She's too technical. Like, what am I supposed to say about Amanda Nunes? Like, she's unreal. There's nobody out there. You know, the only thing you could do is run it back with Valentina at 135. I know she's got 2 wins over her, but the second one, maybe she didn't win that. But Shevchenko's got her own type fight coming up. But yeah, I don't know. That 145-pound women's division might be done. I mean, it was kind of built for Cyborg. That didn't go well. You got Felicia Spencer. You got Megan Anderson, a couple other girls. But they don't start bringing in talent. They're just going to wipe that division out. And that's fine with Nunes. I mean, there's not a lot of contenders at 135. But, I mean, she's going to keep fighting, collect those paychecks for her daughter. And, yeah, we'll have to see what's next for her. Last and certainly not least, we have the light heavyweight championship. Jan Blachowicz take on Israel Adesanya, another potential contender to be the champ. And unfortunately for Izzy, this just wasn't his night. Jan won by unanimous decision. And this kind of played out, I guess, exactly how people thought, except for not at all, if that makes any sense. Like, what I thought was crazy, Blachowicz was a massive underdog on the cards. Doesn't make any sense because Izzy he's not big. Like, he's tall, but you got to think about it like this. You know, John Jones moving up to heavyweight, he's taking all this time off and putting on the weight. For sure. Okay, you have guys like first champ Conor McGregor moving up. He only moved up 10 pounds and he cut a lot of weight. DC cut a lot of weight to make 205. Izzy doesn't cut a lot of weight to make middleweight. So when he weighed in at 200, like, that's probably him bloated. Like, that pizza he brought, he probably ate a whole entire pie beforehand. And Jan, big for the light heavyweight division, was probably 225 in there. The size difference, it matters. Izzy might say it doesn't matter, but it matters. You know, the Polish power. And it was an interesting fight, though, because the first few rounds kind of played out how you'd think it would. You know, Jan not having much success fighting the left bomb, going for all the feints of Izzy. Izzy circling around on the outside, not putting the pressure on, but kind of, you know, striking from the outs and just keeping him at bay with those jabs and those looping kicks. But when as the fight progressed, you know, he had trouble with not only just the takedowns, but just like the pressure near the fourth and the fifth rounds. He said after his legs were fatigued, you know, kind of like a bad day at the gym. You could kind of see it too. Jan took him down with ease, and when you got all that weight on you, like especially in the middle of the octagon, you're not going anywhere. And Jan had more success as the fight grew, kind of got more comfortable. Interesting part about Jan is he's not going to get starstruck out there, right? Like, he's just looking to take your head off with that legendary Polish power. And I don't know, that left hook didn't play too big of a factor, but definitely caught Izzy a few times. And in fairness, Izzy caught Jan a few times, kind of staggered him a bit, but this just wasn't Izzy's night. I mean, if he's going to move up, he's going to have to do the John Jones route and put on the weights and do it properly. Until then, he's got the rest of his career at 185, at least for the short-term part of his career. Jan, on the other hand, Glover Teixeira up next. I mean, first defense against a middleweight. You know, tough. I'm sure he's going to get a lot of trips for that. He shouldn't, though, because Izzy's one of the best to do it. But overall, great fight for Jan. Good try for Izzy, just wasn't meant to be tonight. There you have it, folks. UFC 259 has come and gone. 3 title fights. You have a DQ, a ridiculous GOAT, and a solid first defense. I don't know what more you could ask. The entire card was good. Shout out Kai Kara France. Unbelievable fight he had as well. Good news is we only got to wait a few more weeks to watch UFC 260, Stipe Francis, Volkanovski, and Ortega. So stay tuned for that one. We'll see you then.